Hi, Brent. Good to see you. Today we have a really important question: how to fight inflation. It was the story of last year, still the story of this year. And I want to take a look at some numbers here. This is kind of good news. For the very first time, the inflation rate dipped to 8.3% in April. Well, that's the first slowdown in 8 months. Some experts say we're past the peak of inflation, but upward pressures remain. So, what can I do now to guard against inflation?
Yeah, good question. And that's scary that that number is an improvement,
I
but the
know, right?
environment we are in today. But one thing we're advising clients to do is just to make sure you're still invested in an equity position within your portfolio. You have to keep up with inflation. The cost of goods are going up, and if you don't have something to keep up with it, you're going to run into problems long term.
Okay, that makes sense. And I want to talk about kind of it more on a pocketbook level. What can I do to save money? And I want to just take a look at another graph, which I find really interesting. As we look at what's driving inflation, rental cars and trucks at the top of the list here.
Sure. Yeah. And this stuff's kind of the basic stuff where, create a budget, try to stay on it. Maybe try to cut back on certain things that you can. Maybe you're going to do a road trip, maybe do a staycation instead. But
hmm
just really focusing on things you can control is what's important.
Okay, that is good advice. So, more specifically, is there anything that we can be doing to guard our investments against inflation or any kind of outside the box solutions that we're not thinking of?
Sure. And this is exactly why we recommend meeting with a retirement professional because everybody's situation is going to be different. So you want somebody to look at this. But there are some advanced products out there, structured notes, buffer strategies, stuff like that. We could spend an hour talking about that stuff. That's why it's important to just meet with somebody who can cover these things with you.
hmm And now you brought up retirement. So, how is any of this advice different for somebody who is in or near retirement?
Sure. Yeah. So the plan's going to be a little bit different if you're in your accumulation phase versus your retirement phase. If you're at retirement or almost there, you may be into preservation. You're no longer doing the accumulation thing, but you still most likely need a growth position to keep up with inflation. And that's going to be your equities and then maybe some of those other products we discussed where there's some added protection there.
All right. Well, Brent, this is really helpful. If somebody would like to talk to you more about those advanced investing opportunities, what's the best way to reach you?
www.young-wm.com or 614-430-8383. And we'd love to chat.
All right, Brent, thank you very much.
Thank you.